Hi guys, welcome back to the Scrap Zone. I'm Julie. Welcome back to my 52 weeks project. We are starting the month of September, and I'm going to start it off with creating two layouts. I'm going to do this one right here at the top, and I'm going to follow it through with this one. Now I've gone ahead and I've cut pretty much all of the pieces because I am showing you two layouts. I did use the mix-in paper pack, the one from March and April. I used one sheet, and that sheet included this really nice branding strip, so it worked out beautifully. I am going to bring the months of the year stamp set, of course, for the month of September. I've used it in various ways, and I think you're going to like it. So we are going to be doing sunflowers again. I just couldn't help myself, right? You know me and sunflowers. So let's talk about week 35. I did use that stamp set for my title in this little thin cut right here. And I prepared all of my pieces. And for week 36, again, I did use a different layout if you want. Like I flipped the orientation of this photo, and I'll talk about it a bit later in the video. I did use a different thin cut right here, and this one's still available, so I'll link that down below. Now let's talk about these cute sunflowers. I did go ahead and I stamped several, because I just love them so much, in espresso ink and just let it dry. Like I haven't had any problems using my tri-blend markers if I just let it dry overnight. So I've sped this up quite a bit, and I just want to go through the process with you here. So I am starting here with the leaves with the dull green in the medium shade, and then I'm literally just tracing underneath the flower and those little veining lines in the leaves. Now I'm going back with the medium shade and I'm blending it all together. That's it, no more than that. And they turned out really, really cute. So that's for the leaves, and then we're going to move to the sunflower. Now the sunflower, I use the gold yellow shade in the light shade, and I'm just going on the edge of all of the petals right here. And even if I'm missing close to the center, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go back with the medium shade, and then I'm just kind of flicking outwards from the center and adding a little bit of dimension to that flower. And I really thought that it looked really nice. Although this is kind of like a 2D image, it's kind of like a cartoony image. If you add just a little bit of shading, they pop right off the page and they look really, really good. This color is just perfect for these sunflowers. Now for the center, I use the red brown, and I'm using the lightest shade, and you can see here that I've covered the entire image and it's not bleeding. I am going back here and doing all the little seeds with the darkest shade, and it turned out really, really good. The last step here is I'm adding just a little bit of shading at the bottom, and there you have it. Cute little sunflowers. Now let's go back to the layout. Now I've cut out a lot of this process only because you would have seen my head in most of the shots. So what I did here is I stamped that background stamp in a line, and then I kind of felt that it was very lineal when I was putting my layout, my photo in the center. So I wanted to add a little bit of splatter, and I didn't want it to be like taken over the page, but I just wanted to kind of complete this layout or the background. So I did squeeze in the ink into the lid, and I'm going to add a little bit of clear shimmer to the lid, and then I'm just going to add little splatters on the right hand side of my base page. I am using here just a pencil. I find that when you use something, the splatters are a little bit more controlled. Well, you can see it right here. They look really, really good. And who doesn't like a little bit of shimmer on their pages, right? So let's put this together. But before I do that, I am going to ink distress all of the pieces. And you'll see on the second layout how this really helps to tie in the stamped image with the base page. Now I did it for the cut pieces, I did it for the photo mat, and it's all done in almond ink. So it's not a dark shading, but it's just a really nice blend. So for the branding strip right here, I decided to put it on top of my pattern paper only because I didn't want to hide my little alphabets in the back. I'm going to pop my photo down here, and I always try and do like a dry assembly before I put anything down. So here I know that I need enough space to put my title, and then I can position my photo. So I really don't measure anything. I just kind of go with it and try to make everything fit so that it looks like a nice composition. So here I'm adding my journaling strips, and I put them askew on purpose just because I didn't want everything to be all nice and straight, and it's a lot easier, to be quite honest with you. So I'm going to put these down, and then I'm going to finish off this page with my little tiles, which is week 35. And there you have it, week 35, all completed. We did go shopping for school, and of course, a little Starbucks had to happen to give us energy to go shopping. Now for layout 36 or week 36, I did my journaling again, and I used a thin cut to I like the way that it frames the journaling, so I did that. I did stamp directly onto the pattern paper. And now let's talk about this layout. So this layout right here, you can see that I kind of had a vision when I saw the months of the year, and I wanted to stamp this all the way around. When you get to the bottom or the top, it all depends on how you finish this portion of your page, you'll have to mask a little area. Now you can see at the top of my page that I kind of left a little bit of a gap, but when you add your distressing on the edges, it really just blends everything, and it doesn't really show anymore. You'll see when I put it down that it really does blend the background that I was trying to achieve. So we're going to ink distress all of the pieces, so all of the cut pieces and the photo mat right here. We're going to add our photo, and I'm going to, again, do kind of like a dry assembly just to make sure I'm leaving myself enough space, because when I create the sketches, I don't always have an idea of what it's going to look like. But here I knew, oh, back to school, that's going to fit. But the photo was a portrait, not a landscape. But you could totally do a landscape photo, but for my week, this is the photo that I have, so I just flipped it over, making sure that I have enough space for my journaling. I'm going to add my little sunflowers, of course, and we're going to add our week 36. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, September is very busy. Back to school, it's this little one's birthday, it's my anniversary, and it's just a really busy September. I'm sure your September is probably just as busy as mine. So let's go over these layouts very quickly. So I've got my journaling, I've got my nice title. I really like the way that background came about, and that is part of the months of the year stamp set. I wanted to finish off these layouts just with a little bit of bling, so I'm adding here these nice gold bling, and I'm going to add 3 on this page in an elongated triangle, and I'll do the same here on week 36. Now, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really do hope you're still taking pictures and you're still playing along, because this is a really cool project. Now, I'm not as consistent as I wanted to be, and for September, I have a really good reason. Now, I know if you're here, you're probably a scrapbooker, but I know so many of you also love to make Christmas cards. So why don't you join me and the creative design team in our 31 Days of Christmas Card private event. Now, there's an early bird pricing going on right now until the 20th of September. I will link all of that information down below. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me today, and I will catch you in the next video. Have a great day.